Hello, my name is Pastor Kris Kollar. I'm the pastor of Pleasant Valley Lutheran Church near Malabar Farm State Park and St. Paul Lutheran Church in Lucas, Ohio. Greetings. We are reading through the Bible with commentary. We are in the book of Psalms. We are getting toward the end of the book of Psalms. We're not quite there yet, but we're close. And the book of Psalms is divided into 5 books, and we are in the 5th book, which contains the longest psalm, Psalm 119. And then after Psalm 119, we had songs of ascent that you would read or sing or declare as you go up to Jerusalem. And now we are past that, and we're going to start with Psalm 137, 138, 139. The first one is a lament, and this one clearly was written in Babylon during the Babylonian captivity. So the book of Psalms was collected over time. Many of them say of David, but they could have been written by David or in the style of David or for David or remembering David or about David. There's a lot of different ways, or same with Solomon. Some of them may have been written by Solomon, and some of them might have been written in memory of or in the style of or as a story about. This one clearly was written after the southern kingdom was deported to Babylon. And when they were deported to Babylon, there was actually a great deal of Jewish scholarship that continued to happen. There was a lot of the Bible books that are part of the Old Testament were maybe written or maybe formed and structured, that as they got copied over and reused, that they kind of took the form that we came to know them while the people were in Babylon. But this psalm is saying how they're very sad because they've been deported to Babylon, and they're being asked to sing a song about Jerusalem that's a happy song, and they're not happy. So verse 1, by the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down and there we wept when we remembered Zion. On the willows there we hung our harps, for there our captors asked us for songs, and our tormentors asked for mirth, saying, sing us one of the songs of Zion. So when they got deported to Babylon, they were asked to sing songs from Jerusalem, and they were like, those are happy songs and we're not happy. Verse 4, how could we sing the Lord's song in a foreign land? If I forget you, O Jerusalem, let my right hand wither. Let my tongue cling to the roof of my mouth. If I do not remember you, if I do not set Jerusalem above my highest joy. So how can we sing God's song somewhere else? And how could we ever forget our beloved Jerusalem? Verse 7, remember, O Lord, against the Edomites, the day of Jerusalem's fall, how they said, tear it down, down to its foundations. O daughter Babylon, you devastator, happy shall they be who pay you back for what you have done for us. Happy shall they be who take your little ones and dash them against the rock. Oh, this wonderful, gory, grim. Yes, we came to Babylon and they asked us to sing happy songs, and we're not too happy because we miss Jerusalem, and how could you ever forget Jerusalem? And all these terrible people who mocked us and made fun of us, and we want their babies to be dashed against the rocks. There are no emotions that are wrong to share with God. Emotions are emotions, and when we have emotions, it's okay to have emotions. There's nothing wrong with having emotions, and you can take them to God and you can say, this is how I feel. Now, acting on these emotions, not always a good idea, but to have the emotions and to have the frustration and all of the emotions are okay. Psalm 138 is almost the reverse. That one is a lament. This one is thanksgiving and praise. And the Hebrew subtitle was of David. So either, again, written by David, in the style of David, in remembrance of David, about David, any of those are possible. Verse 1, I give you thanks, O Lord, with my whole heart. Before the gods I sing your praise. I bow down toward your holy temple and give thanks to your name for your steadfast love and your faithfulness. For you have exalted your name and your word above everything. On the day I called, you answered me. You increased my strength of soul. All the kings of the earth shall praise you, O Lord, for they have heard the words of your mouth. They shall sing of the ways of the Lord, for great is the glory of the Lord. For though the Lord is high, he regards the lowly, but the haughty he perceives from far away. Though I walk in the midst of trouble, you preserve me against the wrath of my enemies. You stretch out your hand, and your right hand delivers me. The Lord will fulfill his purpose for me. Your steadfast love, O Lord, endures forever. Do not forsake the work of your hands. So where the last one was a lament and asking God to dash babies on rocks, this one is gratitude to the Lord for hearing the prayers and for acting in helping the lowly, and that the Lord will fulfill his purpose for me. Do not forsake the work of your hands. So we are made by God, and we ask God not to forget about us, not to forsake us, but to be with us. And this declares that we're going to give thanks with our whole heart, and we're going to also remember that on the day that we cried out to God and God answered us. And of course, sometimes we cry out to God and God does not answer us that day, but God does hear. Whether he answers us that day or some other day, God does hear our prayers. But sometimes we cannot manipulate God. We cannot be like, okay, I prayed this thing, now God has to do that thing. It doesn't work that way. God is God, as we've read in a previous psalm. Our God is in the heavens, and he does whatever he pleases. We cannot make God do anything. That said, we can pray, we can ask, and we can trust that God does love us and is faithful to us and will go with us, and that whatever comes down the road, that in the end God will use it for our good. He may not cause it, but he will use it for our good if we trust and rest in the Lord. Psalm 139, to the leader of David, a psalm. And when I set up this recording, I put it as a recognition that God is God, which again is what I was just kind of saying, the idea that we cannot manipulate God, we cannot control God, we cannot say, okay, I do this thing, then God has to do that thing. Or if you go with C.S. Lewis and the Chronicles of Narnia, Aslan the lion who represents God, he's amazing and magnificent and huge and powerful, protects the children, but he is not a tame lion. And God does what God does, and we cannot make God do anything. So this psalm is a recognition about God being God. Psalm 139, to the leader of David, a psalm. Verse 1. O Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know when I sit down and when I rise up. You discern my thoughts from far away. You search out my path and my lying down, and are acquainted with all my ways. Even before a word is on my tongue, O Lord, you know it completely. You hem me in behind and before. You lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is so high that I cannot attain it. So the Lord has seen me, has known me, and don't we all kind of wish that somebody would know how we really feel or what we're really thinking or who we really are? The Lord does. The Lord sees us and knows us and surrounds us, hems us in before and behind, and that God knows all about us, knows what we're going to say before we even say it. Verse 7, where can I go from your spirit, or where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, you are there. If I take the wings of the morning and settle at the farthest limits of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me fast. Whether you go up to the heights, down to the depths, out to the farthest distance, God's hand holds us fast. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, and the light around me become night, even the darkness is not dark to you. The night is as bright as the day, for darkness is as light to you. We cannot hide from God. Doesn't matter where we go, how awful it is. I know this wonderful quote from Corrie ten Boom, who survived being in a concentration camp during World War II. She and her sister went there, and her sister died. She escaped, and she was like, she came out of it saying that even in the worst, most horrible place ever, God is there. She came out of that concentration camp saying God was there also. The worst place you can possibly imagine, the best place, the highest, the lowest, the furthest away, the darkest, doesn't matter. God is there and goes with us. And we go through valleys. We have to go through valleys sometimes. We have hard things sometimes. But God goes with us through. And in the darkness, God is with us. In the depths, God is with us. Verse 13. For it was you who formed my inward parts. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. I know that very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth. Your eyes beheld my unformed substance. In your book were written all the days that were formed for me, when none of them has yet existed. So God saw us before we were even formed, before we were even conceived, before any one of our days ever came to be. God knew exactly how long we would live, exactly how far we would go, how old we would get, all of the things that would happen to us. God knew, and God saw us as we were being formed, before we were formed, while we were being formed, and then ever since our birth. God sees us, and we are not alone. We are the works of God's hands. Verse 17, how weighty to me are your thoughts, O God. How vast is the sum of them. I try to count them. They are more than the sand. I come to the end, and I am still with you. Oh, that is just the best verse of all. I come to the end, and I am still with God. God still goes with us all the way to the end of ourselves, to the end of our lives, to the end of whatever the end is. For myself, I find if I get to the end of myself, what's left is God. God is still there. And I'm a hospice chaplain in addition to being a pastor. And as I deal with people who are coming to their end and who are finding that God is with them. And sometimes we don't talk about it much, and other times I get to hear amazing stories. This about 3 years ago, an amazing patient who had horrible Parkinson's and was just a prisoner in his own body. But before he got to where he could not talk, he said that he had never gotten as close to God as he had since he got this disease. Does he want the disease? No. Was he miserable? Yes. At the same time, he recognized how amazing God was, that God was with him, that God was giving him grace and going with him through the very hard thing that he was going through. Verse 18 again, second half, I come to the end, I am still with you. Yes, Lord. Verse 19, oh, that you would kill the wicked, O God, and that the bloodthirsty would depart from me, those who speak of you maliciously and lift themselves up against you for evil. Do I not hate those who hate you, O Lord? And do I not loathe those who rise up against you? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. This whole thing saying how amazing God is and how God has formed us and goes with us all the way to the end. And then there's this little thing about, and I hate those people that hate you, Lord. And verse 22, search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my thoughts. See if there is any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. And when I read that, I don't think it means, oh, test me, Lord, and see how perfect I am. It's test me, Lord, and if you find any wicked way, lead me in the way everlasting. If you find anything in me, God, that is not righteous, that is wicked, that is not going the way it should be going, then please, Lord, guide me in your way. Guide me to become more like you. Guide me to do the will that you have, and not to be righteous, to be righteous and not unrighteous or wicked or arrogant or any of the other things. So God already knows us. And so to say, search me and try me, Lord, I think God already knows what's in there, but it's a willingness for us to say, okay, Lord, I'm willing to be led. I'm willing to be guided. I'm willing to be taught. I'm willing to be trained in the way that we should go. God is God and we are not, and God does what God does, but God sees us and knows us from the inside out, from the beginning to the end. He knew us before we even had a single day. He knows how many days we have, and we just go along and say, okay, Lord, guide me in your ways, help me to walk in your ways and to follow your steps. And now may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord look at you with favor and give you peace. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Go in peace. Like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you again next time.